Hi, everybody. My name is Joe Schwartz, and I'm an incoming associate professor in the College of Criminology and Criminal Justice. And this is Lily. Would you like to say hi, Lily?
Hi.
Good job. How old are you, Lily?
Yeah.
Good job. All right. Did you want to go play?
Bye bye.
Good job. All right. We're actually in Omaha, Nebraska right now, and I've been a faculty member here for the past 6 years at the University of Nebraska, Omaha. And so we're very excited to get to Tallahassee, and I'm excited to join the faculty at Florida State University. It'll actually be a little bit of a homecoming for us. I went to graduate school at Florida State and received my PhD from Florida State. So it was a good little while ago though now, and so I know a lot has changed, and we're very excited to get back. As I mentioned, I'll be joining the College of Criminology and Criminal Justice, and that's my formal training as a criminologist from a sociological perspective primarily. And what got me interested in this field, in this area of criminology, is primarily when I was a high school student, and then a little bit into my undergraduate career. I was really interested in true crime, really interested in these sort of exceptional cases. So, for example, Truman Capote's In Cold Blood, for example, that book. And I became very interested and fascinated by trying to understand why people do what they do and why people don't do what they don't do. And so through that sort of just casual sort of interest, I became more interested in examining these things more formally as well. And so that really sparked my interest in criminology, which I ended up majoring in as an undergraduate and then following through all the way through my PhD training. And my research is really focused primarily on understanding how biological and environmental sources of influence sort of work together to shape behavior and long-term health outcomes. So, for example, some of my work has really focused more recently on adversity and traumatic experiences as a experience during earlier in the life course and how those can shape long-term behavioral trends, as well as long-term health outcomes as well. I've also done some work recently looking at how the experience of incarceration can ultimately shape long-term physical and mental health outcomes, both for those individuals who have experienced incarceration previously, but also for individuals who are currently incarcerated. And so that's been really a large segment of my most recent research. And so what caused me to choose FSU? Well, I've chosen FSU twice now. So I've been a Seminole on both sides of the desk, so to speak, as a student, and then now as a faculty member. I'm extremely impressed in the strides that the university has taken to really beef up the research agenda that it already had, which was amazing. The national rankings have been extremely exciting to see as an alumni, and then as an incoming faculty member. And I've been extremely impressed with the College of Criminology and Criminal Justice. When I was a student, they were ranked very high, and they continue to maintain that ranking. They have some amazing young as well as established researchers on faculty, some great teachers as well, some unbelievably talented graduate students. And so I really, it's a dream come true to come back as a faculty member. I've always had a very special place for Florida State. I've always held them in a very high regard, obviously. And so to get the privilege to come back and be a faculty member, it's a dream come true. So I'm extremely excited about joining the faculty here. As far as my strengths as a researcher and a teacher, I think one of the things that is always kind of mentioned, at least from a teaching perspective on my teaching evals and then just from more informal interactions with students, is that I am extremely passionate about what I do. I love what I do. I love the research that I do. I love the job that I do. I get to try to answer questions that I think are interesting. And to me, that's the greatest job in the world. I love it. I never take it for granted. It's a tremendous privilege to be able to get to do that. And so for that reason, I think it really comes through in my teaching. I integrate a lot of the work that I'm doing in my teaching. I integrate a lot of the readings that I'm doing and a lot of the kind of thinking that I'm kind of still working through into my teaching. And I think students really appreciate that. It took me a while to understand that students really do have that hunger as well and are really interested in sort of just cutting edge research and teaching in kind of more innovative ways to come across these types of issues, rather than just sort of a textbook approach where students are just reading a chapter that somebody wrote a decade ago about a topic that somebody introduced 3 or 4 decades ago. So I think that's really come through, and I think I do a good job of that in balancing it. But it's a continued work in progress, right? I'm always trying to be a better teacher, and I find it fun and exciting, and a challenge that I really enjoy. Same goes for research. I've always been interested in trying to understand how things work. And I think that's really benefited me as a researcher in trying to really disentangle these really complicated processes, and sort of maybe take a look at things from a slightly different perspective, and try to really piece these things together. And so that's something that I think has benefited me, certainly, and my research agenda as well as in my teaching. And then finally, what am I interested to know more about in regard to Tallahassee? Well, first and foremost, I think my wife and I both are really interested in how the city has changed. Because of the current circumstances, we haven't really had a chance to come back out and see how things have changed over the past 6+ years of being gone. But I know the city's matured a lot, and I'm interested to see how that's happened. I'm also interested in the new microbrew scene. From what some of my future colleagues have informed me, that the microbrew scene in Tallahassee has really boomed, and that's exciting. And I'm excited to see how that's changed, as well as restaurants and those sorts of things. But I think most importantly, I'm really interested to come back as a parent. So my daughter's 3, and we've been gone for over 6 years. So as we're coming back, we're going to be, I think, experiencing Tallahassee in a totally different way than we did before. And I'm really excited to see some of the opportunities that there are for families, as well as for kids in Tallahassee. And so that's something that we're really excited to get to explore once things sort of calm down and begin to normalize a little bit. All of those fun experiences, and experiencing all those new things, learning all those new things through the eyes of Lily. So she's excited as well. She's very excited to get to Tallahassee and to Florida. She's excited to be near a beach, which we are as well. And we just couldn't be happier about this experience and about this opportunity. So I look forward to meeting some of you. I hope that I get to have some interactions with you, and learn more about your research agendas and what you're working on. And hopefully we can talk more, and maybe even find some common areas for collaboration moving forward. But with that said, thank you very much, and please feel free to email me or contact me, and I'd love to get to know some of you more. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in Tallahassee.